Motor's ready to get torn down. I'm going to start on that now. I did drain the oil. I don't know if you can tell. Probably can't see it in the video. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it. Could be just normal wear though. Just going to do a time lapse of the motor tear down. And we'll go over whatever I find after that. Drop again. There she is. Spiders living in or something.
Okay, the gears are probably not very cheap.
So, got the motor torn down. Doesn't look that great. It's not the best. Could be a lot worse, but we definitely blew a gear. Let's see here. She gone. Busted that one. Shoot up a tooth or three there, and then same on this one here. I don't know exactly off the top of my head what gear that was. I think it was third, maybe? That one? I'm not 100% sure. I'll look it up. The only thing I did to the cases was put this little scratch, or not a scratch, but it kind of like pushed a little bit of metal, but it's very thin. Should be able to just clean up with a Dremel. Probably won't even know it was there. And then a couple of bearings are kind of... that one's not too bad, but I'm going to replace them all since that thing busted and there's probably metal in these things. That one's definitely bad. And same on this one here. Counter shaft and all that. They're bad. Crane bearings are good, but I'm in there. Heck, the thing's only got a little bit of time on it, but I'm going to have to do them regardless. Crank's in good shape. Piston was in pretty good shape as well. I mean, it should. Didn't have much time on it. Yeah, there's no carbon on there. Cylinder looks great. I've never heard of a 125 doing that from others. And I don't know, we'll see. I gotta do some calling around. Maybe call some engine guys like JMS and see if he's heard of trannies failing like that. But yeah, everything else, I mean, this one shift fork, it's got a little bit of a burn mark to it, but I'm not sure if that's just, I don't know. Makes me wonder. The other two look just fine. But yeah, that's the culprit right there. I don't know if it, I mean, I was in gear, I wasn't shifting when it happened, so I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if there was a weak point that just ended that thing or what. But that's it. That's the culprit right there. Now I need to order gears, bearings, and the top end, and it should be good. Put it back together. Hope to have it back together in 2 weeks. We'll see. Want to go back to riding. Smooth down now. Should be good to go. Have you ever had to take a socket off of one of these plastic socket holders? Pretty much got to cut the stupid thing off. It's terrible.
This one is.
Well, what do you know? I just pulled that out with my finger. Guess I don't even need a bearing puller. Look at that. Sweet. Alright, so check it out. Popped those two bearings out, which was pretty much nothing. All I had to do was pull on it. So that was easy. Gotta pull those two out. And that one, this one, where the shift drum goes, is mint. It's still good. I'll pop it out before I clean up all the crap in here. Metal shavings, old oil. I'm gonna try not to get into the crank. Worst case is I gotta pop the crank out and clean it and re-lube everything. So, but yeah, these bearings are perfect. But again, this thing only had, I don't know if it even had 10 hours on it. So, but I got a whole mess of new gears, a couple of miscellaneous stuff, bearings, ring for the piston because the piston still looks good. What else have I got here? So the gear, let me show you that real quick. I'm trying to keep a clean mess, at least. Alright, so here, if you look carefully, I don't know how well it'll show up on here, but there's some serious heat marks. From what I was told by some fellow friends that were race team mechanics, this gear may have a problem as far as allowing oil to get underneath that shaft, underneath the gear on the shaft. So basically, let's see here. Here's the new one. There's no oil ports on the inside. And this one gear sits smooth on the shaft like this, so it doesn't have these channels for oil to get underneath and help lube it as it spins. And what also makes it even worse is that there isn't, or there is, what makes it worse is that there is a washer, this one here. So there's a washer that sits right on the gear, like so, and then it sits flush up against that gear. Not 100% sure, but that maybe, with it being such a tight fit, that it's keeping oil from getting into or underneath the gear to keep it lubed, which is why I believe there's such heat marks. And this dude's stuck. It ain't coming off. Once I realized how bad it was, I ordered a shaft anyway. So I even tried to put this in a vise. I have a video on my phone. I'll add that in this clip of just a 40-ounce hammer trying to beat this thing off, and it wasn't even budging. So it's pretty much welded on there. So what I am going to do with the new gear, still gonna run the washer, but what I'm gonna do is on these channels here, I'm gonna Dremel some passages for oil to run through while this shim is sitting on here. That way the oil can drip in through here and underneath the shim and get into or underneath the bearing. Not 100% sure if I'll do it on this side as well. I think I might do one or two. Same on this side, here and there. That way the oil can get flung into these channels, I guess you can call them, and get into here to help keep it cool. Which transmissions don't typically get all that hot, but for that to happen is a major failure on this bike. So what I think happened was, when this finally locked up, the gear that broke is the gear that runs off of the gear that's molded onto the shaft, and then it was second gear. So once this locked up, this system stopped, and I think all the force from the sprocket and wheel put on that gear, this one here, that is busted. So as it went around, it broke it and flung it up, and basically caused everything to lock up. So I guess on the Yamaha teams back in the day when they were riding two-strokes, there were some, not necessarily the same gear, but some gears getting oil starvation to them and causing the same issue. So that's what I'm going to do, is a couple of parts to get oil to it, and hopefully this won't happen again. I don't even know if it's a common thing. I haven't even heard about it. So if any of you have heard it, let me know. I like to feel like I'm not the only one, but it's kind of odd. And also on these ones, like you can see a channel inside that gear. It's kind of got like a sideways groove on both sides, so as it spins, it sucks some oil in and rolls it around. So I don't know, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be worth a try. I mean, it broke with nothing going on. It broke with no modifications, so I think modding it won't hurt anything. Yeah, so I got all the gears. I'm just waiting for the shafts to come in. Should be here. All this stuff only took 2 days, so I'm hoping 2 days again, but it could be 3. I think it's all coming from Utah. So, but got this sprawled out. I'm gonna do a time lapse of it going back together. Quick update: got the parts at the shop, got everything cleaned up, bearings pulled that I'm gonna save, cleaned up, re-put back in, and got oil and assembly lube on those. And as soon as I get the part in, I'm gonna start the assembly process, and that will be in the 3rd video. And basically it's you know, I'm going to be trying to get it done for this Sunday, which we want to go to Bar to Bar in Kansas. It's supposed to be a pretty good track. I've never been. Kind of sandy. Everyone says it's probably the best track in Kansas. And I'll probably take their word for it. I haven't heard too many good tracks in Kansas. So my goal is to get it done Saturday, and I'm really hoping the park comes in tomorrow. It says it's supposed to, but it's already had some weather delays, which caused it to, you know, I lost like a couple days from it. So hopefully it will show up tomorrow and I can get this thing done and back together. But I've been going as far as prep work, getting it all ready for assembly, and did a little bit of vapor blasting to some parts of the motor. Not all of it, only because I didn't tear it all the way down, because a lot of it is still good. So check back on vlog 3, that will be the assembly of the motor and going back into the bike. And then if I can get it running, I will do a vlog number 4 at the track Bar to Bar, which is, I think it's like a 3 to 3.5 hour drive. Not really looking forward to that, but everyone says the track's good, so I'm gonna take my chances. Other than that, thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, add them below, and if you like it, give me a thumbs up. Thanks.